There was a couple named Hassan and Layla who had been married for 7 years. And like many marriages that reached that milestone, this had settled into a comfortable routine that was equal parts blessing and trap. They loved each other in the way that people love each other after years of shared history. With familiarity, with habit, with the kind of affection that doesn't require constant expression because it's simply understood to be there. They had 2 young children, busy careers, a home to maintain, and all the responsibilities that come with building a life together. But if Hassan was being honest with himself, which he rarely was in those days, he would have admitted that somewhere along the way, the spark had dimmed. The love was still there, certainly, but had become background noise rather than the song that once defined his entire world. He appreciated Layla, relied on her, was committed to her, but the depth of feeling he had experienced in their early years together had faded into something more practical and less passionate. Layla felt it too, though she tried not to think about it too directly. She poured her energy into their children and her work as a teacher, telling herself that this was just what marriage became after years. Less intense, more stable, comfortable rather than exciting. She had read enough about relationships to know that the initial infatuation always fades, that real love was about commitment and partnership rather than butterflies and romance. So she accepted the dimming as natural and tried not to mourn what had been lost. What neither Hassan nor Layla understood as they moved through their 7th year of marriage was that something was about to happen, something Layla would do without even realizing its significance, that would cause Hassan to fall in love with her all over again, but twice as deeply as before. A moment that would shatter his comfortable complacency and remind him why he had married her in the first place, and make him see qualities in her that he had been taking for granted. The moment came on an ordinary Thursday evening in late spring. Hassan had come home from work exhausted, stressed by a difficult project that was behind schedule and a boss who was becoming increasingly demanding. He had been short-tempered with the children at dinner, had snapped at Layla when she asked him about his day, and had retreated to the bedroom claiming he needed space to decompress. Layla, who was equally tired from her own long day of teaching and then managing the children's homework and evening routine, could have responded to Hassan's irritation with her own frustration. She could have pointed out that she was tired too, that she also had difficult days, that marriage was supposed to be about supporting each other rather than taking out stress on each other. All of these responses would have been justified, and many spouses would have chosen them. But Layla did something different, something that came from a place of deep faith and wisdom that Hassan hadn't even known she possessed. After putting the children to bed, instead of going to the bedroom to confront Hassan or go to sleep in frustration, Layla went to the small corner of their living room where she kept her prayer mat. She performed ablution, then stood for voluntary night prayers, tahajjud, something she rarely had energy for during their busy life but felt called to do in that moment. Hassan, unable to sleep despite his claimed exhaustion, heard the soft sounds of Layla praying. Curious, he quietly left the bedroom and stood where he could see her without disturbing her prayers. What he witnessed in those next 20 minutes would change his entire perception of his wife and his marriage. Layla was praying with a depth of presence Hassan had never seen before. After the formal prayer movements, she remained in prostration for several minutes, and Hassan could hear her whispering in that position. As he listened, his heart began to break and heal simultaneously. God, Layla was saying in her prostration, her voice thick with tears. "My husband is suffering right now. I can see it in his eyes, in his short temper, in his distance. Please ease whatever burden he's carrying. Please give him success in his work, peace in his heart, and strength to handle whatever challenges he's facing. And please, God, make me a better wife to him. Help me respond to his difficulty with patience and kindness rather than taking it personally. Help me support in the way he needs, even when I'm tired too." Hassan stood frozen, tears streaming down his face as he listened to his wife pray for him. Not praying about him, not complaining to God about his behavior, but praying for him, asking God to help him, to bless him, to ease his burdens. Layla continued, "And God, help me see my marriage through your eyes. Help me remember why I fell in love with Hassan, why you brought us together. Don't let the stress and routine of daily life make me forget the blessing that he is. Help me show him love and appreciation even when he's difficult, because you show us mercy even when we're difficult with you. Help me be to Hassan what the prophet's wives were to him, sources of peace, comfort, and support." After Layla finished her prayers and stood up, she found Hassan standing there, his face wet with tears. For a moment, they just looked at each other, and then Hassan did something he hadn't done in years. He crossed the room and pulled her into a tight embrace, holding her as though he was afraid she might disappear if he let go. "I heard you praying," he said, his voice breaking. "I heard you asking God to help me, to ease my burdens, to make you a better wife to me. I came home tonight and treated you terribly, took out my stress on you, and your response was to pray for me. Do you understand what that means to me?" Layla held him, a bit confused by the intensity of his reaction. "Of course I prayed for you. You're my husband. Your pain is my pain. When you're struggling, I want God to help you." "But you could have been angry at me," Hassan said. "You would have had every right to be. I was rude to you at dinner. I snapped at you when you asked a simple question. Instead of responding to my bad behavior with anger or hurt feelings, you responded with prayers for me. I don't even have words for what that is." Hassan pulled back slightly to look at his wife's face, really look at it, perhaps for the first time in months. And what he saw made him fall in love all over again, but deeper than before. He saw a woman of profound faith who actually lived the principles she believed in. He saw someone who responded to difficulty with grace, to meanness with mercy, to stress with prayer. He saw someone who loved him not just with emotions or words, but with actions and supplications that were the deepest expression of care in Islam. He saw someone who had been carrying the weight of their household, raising their children, working her job, and supporting him through his challenges, all while he had been taking her completely for granted. "I'm so sorry," Hassan said. "I'm sorry for tonight, for being short with you. But more than that, I'm sorry for how blind I've been. I've been treating you like you're just part of the furniture of my life, something I don't need to appreciate, because you're just always there. I forgot to see you as the incredible blessing you are." That night, after the children were asleep, Hassan and Layla stayed up talking in a way they hadn't in years. Hassan told her how hearing her pray for him had shattered something in his heart, had made him realize how much he had been taking her for granted, how her response to his difficulty had shown him a depth of character and faith that made him love her in ways he hadn't even loved her when they first married. "When we first got married, I loved you for how you made me feel happy, excited, desired," Hassan explained. That love was real, but it was kind of selfish about what you did for me. Tonight, I fell in love with you again, but twice as deep because I'm seeing who you actually are, not just how you make me feel, but the person you've become through your faith and your character. The woman who responds to her husband's bad mood by asking God to help him instead of retaliating. That's someone extraordinary, and I've been too blind to see it. Layla listened, tears in her own eyes now. You want to know something? I almost didn't pray tonight. I was tired and frustrated with you, and part of me wanted to just go to bed angry. But I remembered something my grandmother told me when I got married. She said, whenever your husband frustrates you, before you respond to him, respond to God first. Talk to God about your feelings. Ask him to help you respond with wisdom. Pray for your husband instead of against him. If you do this consistently, God will protect your marriage from the poison of resentment and contempt that destroys so many relationships. Your grandmother was wise, Hassan said, and you're wise for following her advice. I want you to know something. What you did tonight changed me. I feel like I've been sleepwalking through our marriage for years, and you just woke me up. I want to be better for you. I want to deserve the kind of love you showed tonight, the kind that responds to difficulty with prayer rather than retaliation. Over the following weeks and months, Hassan's renewed appreciation for his wife manifested in tangible ways. He started coming home from work and immediately helping with the children instead of claiming he needed time to decompress. He began noticing and thanking Layla for all the things she did that he had been taking for granted. He started praying with her sometimes, joining her for the voluntary prayers that she made when the children were asleep. He left notes for her expressing appreciation, brought her small gifts for no reason, and most importantly, he started treating her with the active love and attention that showed he saw her as the blessing she was. But the most remarkable change was in how Hassan started talking about Layla to others. Before that night, when friends or family would ask how his marriage was, he would give the standard response, "Fine, good, nothing to complain about." But after witnessing his wife's response to his bad behavior, after falling in love with her twice as deeply, Hassan couldn't help but share what he had learned. "My wife is extraordinary," he would tell his brothers, his friends, anyone who would listen. And I didn't even realize it for years. I was taking her for granted, treating our marriage like it was just another part of my routine. Then one night, I saw something that changed everything. I saw her respond to my bad behavior, not with anger or hurt, but with prayer for me. She asked God to help me, to ease my burdens, to make her a better wife to me when I had been a terrible husband to her that day. That's when I understood what real love looks like. Not the emotional butterflies of early romance, but the deep, faithful love that responds to difficulty with grace and mercy. His words inspired other men to look at their own marriages differently, to stop taking their wives for granted, to recognize that the deepest love often shows itself not in grand gestures, but in daily choices to respond to difficulty with faith and kindness rather than retaliation. One evening, about 6 months after the night that changed everything, Hassan sat with Layla after the children were asleep and told her something that summarized what he had learned. "You did something that made me love you twice as much as before," he said, taking her hands in his. "But here's what I've realized. You didn't do it for that purpose. You didn't pray for me that night, trying to manipulate my feelings or make me appreciate you more. You did it because that's who you are, because your faith is real, because you genuinely care about my well-being even when I'm being difficult. The fact that you weren't trying to impress me or change me is exactly what made it so powerful. You were just being yourself, a woman of deep faith who practices what she believes. He continued, I've learned something important. The love that lasts, the love that deepens over years rather than fading, isn't about keeping the same feelings we had when we first met. It's about discovering new depths in your spouse that make you fall in love again and again in new ways. The woman I married 7 years ago was wonderful, but the woman you've become through faith and struggle and growth, she's even more extraordinary. And if I keep paying attention, if I don't fall back into taking you for granted, I bet I'll fall in love with you again and again, deeper each time, as I continue discovering who you really are. Years later, they would tell their children this story, using it to teach important lessons about marriage, faith, and how to respond to difficulty. Your mother did something that made me love her twice as much, Hassan would tell them. But she didn't do it by trying to be more attractive or more exciting or by manipulating my emotions. She did it by being herself, by responding to my bad behavior with prayer for me rather than anger at me. This taught me that the deepest love grows not from trying to impress each other, but from revealing your true character, especially in difficult moments. And it taught me that faith isn't just about praying when everything is good. It's about turning to God, especially when things are hard. When you're hurt or frustrated, asking Him to help you respond with wisdom rather than letting your emotions control you. Layla would add, and I learned something too, that when you respond to your spouse's difficulty with prayer and patience rather than retaliation, you're not being weak or letting them get away with bad behavior. You're accessing a power that's greater than any human response. You're inviting God into your marriage to heal and strengthen what you can't heal on your own. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do when your spouse frustrates you is pray for them instead of arguing with them. God can change hearts in ways our words never could. This is the truth. You might do something that makes your person love you twice as much as before, but it won't be what you expect. It won't be becoming more physically attractive or more exciting or more anything that society says you should be. It will be revealing the depth of your character and faith in a moment when you could have chosen anger or retaliation, but instead chose grace and prayer. It will be showing them that your love is rooted not in feelings that fluctuate, but in faith that endures. And when they see that, when they really understand the depth of who you are and how you love, they'll fall in love with you all over again. But deeper this time, more real, based not on surface attraction, but on soul recognition. That's the kind of love that lasts, that grows, that becomes stronger through difficulties rather than being diminished by them.